By now it is no secret that stun wall characters are crucial for almost every single team composition there is. They make the endgame content of the game like Qingyi defense so much easier because stunning opponents not only gives you a brief moment of respite, but it also unlocks a massive damage multiplier for as long as your opponents are stunned. And Qingyi will push this to the next level due to the nature of her kit. She will increase the stun damage modifier of your opponents. For that, let us take a look at the newest member of the new F2P Public Security, or in short, NEPS. There are a few tips and tricks I have when it comes to actually using her in combat, and because of that let us go away from the usual format of explaining every single talent there is in theory, and instead let us take a look at how to actually use her in combat. After all, theory is just theory, it is on paper and very often does not actually apply to the game because your opponents are not just simple punching bags. First up, everything you are going to see here is live server footage. I do not have creator experience access for Zenless Zone 0, so what you're going to see will basically be the same as what you're going to see on your own Qingyi. Once you play her, you will quickly realize that Qingyi is a character who takes up a lot of field time. She is a combo based character and we will talk about those in a moment, but when it comes to her core elements, it all boils down to two aspects. You have your energy bar at the top left of your screen, and you can fill that up by using your normal attacks. Once it reaches 75% energy, you can activate her empowered basic attack. This one will build up stacks on your opponents, with each giving you a 4% increased stun damage modifier. Capping out at 20 stacks, we are looking at 80% increased damage to your opponents when they are stunned. Each empowered basic attack is going to generate 10 stacks, if you hit all of your attacks. So you preferably want to use it twice before your opponents are stunned. Now, how do you build up your energy? There's a special basic attack you can use, and once she starts using it, you can use it all day long. I like to call it Bruce Lee mode because she's a martial artist at the very end of the day, and it will generate a stupid amount of energy and days. You can see it in the footage right now, and this basic attack is her bread and butter skill. This is what you will use most of the time, however she does not start doing it right away. When you start your basic attack chain, she will first do 2 normal attacks before she goes into her Bruce Lee mode. Those normal attacks are not noteworthy and you preferably want to skip them. And this brings us to our actual combos and rotations. Before we get into our combos, let me quickly sum up everything we talked about so far. Qingyi builds up debuffs on your opponents by using her empowered basic attack. For that you need to use your unique energy bar. You build that bar up by using your normal attacks. Once you have 75% energy, you will use your empowered basic attack. 2 of those are enough to cap out the debuff on your opponents, and usually by that point they are about to be stunned as well. When it comes to combos, there are 2 of them which you are going to use fairly often. Her X special attack followed by her Bruce Lee mode, or a dodge counter followed by her Bruce Lee mode as well. Her X special attack will generate some daze in voltage, and it allows you to skip your first 2 normal attacks so that you can use your Bruce Lee mode right away. For those who are new to the game, daze refers to your opponent's stun bar, and voltage in this case is the special name for Qingyi's unique energy bar. And with that we have our first 2 combos. X special attack into Bruce Lee mode into empowered basic attack, once you have 75% energy. Our second combo is basically the same. But we are going to replace our X special attack by using our dodge counter. It effectively does the same. This is how you are going to spend most of your time on Qingyi. The chain attack is nice to have, but in terms of priority it has the lowest in the team. Usually you would prefer to use your support and DPS chain attack. So as an example, Nicole into Qingyi or the other way around. When it comes to bosses, you obviously have more chain attacks. The way I do it is to use Qingyi first, into Qingyi, into Nicole. I use Nicole last so that I can hopefully dump my ultimate or a full shot shell rotation into my opponents while Nicole's debuff is still active. And that is basically Qingyi's entire kit. There are a few details I left out here and there, and you can read up on those by yourself, but most importantly I didn't talk about her ultimate, right? This one, honestly speaking, you are not going to use it, as simple as that. You want to use your DPS ultimate, especially in the case of Qingyi. If you want to know what it does, you can read it up by yourself, but effectively speaking, it is a glorified version of her Bruce Lee mode. I hope this kit explanation was helpful. I hope you have a better understanding of how she works now, and as such, let us move on to the more boring aspects of any guide: drive disks, W engines and team composition. For drive disks, I mean, we don't really have that many options in the game yet. Your best option is going to be a 4-piece Shockstar Disco combined with a 2-piece Swing Jazz for some additional energy regeneration. When it comes to her stats, you want to use crit rate or crit damage on disc 4, electric damage on disc 5 and impact on disc 6. As a tip here, I am more or less free to play when it comes to Zenless Zone Zero. I did buy the Battle Pass for patch 1.1, but besides that I haven't spent a dime yet. So I know what it is like to play the game. We are all starved for resources. Most of you, like me, probably struggle to get her up to even level 50, maybe level 60. As such, I would simply say to focus on disc 6 for now, get impact for Qingyi as this is her most important stat. Everything else you can focus on in the future. When it comes to her talents, level her basic attack first. This one will basically increase your daze modifier, and at the same time level her core skill enhancement, as this one will increase your stun damage modifier. Everything else can be a project for the future, but those two abilities are key when it comes to Qingyi. For her W engine, you can most certainly go for her signature weapon followed by Lycan's engine. Hellfire Gears is also a good option, but is about the same as a S5 Steam Oven, and you can get that one for free. So for free to play, Steam Oven even at S1, and for pay to win, a signature engine. As simple as that. If you don't have access to Steam Oven yet because you're missing materials, you can also go for a Vortex Arrow for the time being. That one is also fairly decent on Qingyi. And finally, we have team composition. I feel like this one is going to be the shortest section for any guide I have ever created. Qingyi is a stunner, so she can be used in almost any team composition. It is also super easy to activate her additional ability because all she wants is an attack character or a police member in her team. Her best team is obviously going to be a Zhiyan composition, at least for the time being, because Zhiyan excels at doing damage to stunned opponents. But besides that, you can use her in any team composition there is. Which brings us to my own opinion regarding Qingyi. Personally, I feel like she is the strongest banner character so far, and that is because support characters are always more valuable than DPS characters, especially those that can be used in any team composition. DPS characters are important too, sure, but you will get those one way or the other. But characters like Kazuha or Farina in Genshin, Rune Mei or Robin in Star Rail, and now Qingyi in Zenless Zone Zero are always super important because you can use them in any team composition. As such, in my opinion, the first 100% must-pull unit in the game, especially because stunning your enemies is so valuable. So yeah, let me know what you think regarding our newest police member. Do you like her? If yes, let me know why down in the comments below. If not, let me know as well. Other than that, it has been a pleasure. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.